Direct TV talking to Chelmsford City manager Robbie Simpson from the 2-1 defeat here against Oxford City. Similar difficult game today and it nearly ended in a point, but we just didn't do enough in the end. But what was your view of that one?
I thought we started really well, really well. We worked a lot on Thursday actually, playing against wind and trying to get better at that. I think we've been pretty good at it anyway, but just to try and get better and pose a bit more of an attacking threat against wind. And we started ever so well. It was very much pass forward, run forward, and we worked on patterns. And our goal was brilliant. Really, it's exactly what we worked on Thursday, and then we reiterated it before the game how I thought we could score against the wind, and it was a great move. You know, Edwino passed into space for Rushy to run onto, and then we had another forward runner beyond Rushy, which was Dara, and another forward runner beyond him, which was Tom, and another ball, and then really well taken goal by Tom, and we carried on that vein for another 10-15, and But then we started making poor decisions. We started playing backwards passes too much and putting our foot on the ball and stopping the ball and inviting that pressure. And when you're playing against wind, if you invite the press, you're in trouble. If you pass back to Jacob when he's being pressed, it makes it ever so hard to get out your half. And listen, Oxford built their way into that half and finished really strong. And I remember looking, it was 31 minutes gone, and I turned to Spills and went, let's just make it to half time here. And unfortunately we didn't. You know, Jacobs come and punched it straight onto their player's head. And I don't know whether he could have caught it, but I'd like Jacob to think catch before punch sometimes. And I'll speak to him about that. But then we got obviously dealt a huge blow just before half time, and again, Dara's apologised to everybody in there. It's not the culture that we create here for any player. Yes, if you're being goaded, it's tough, but there's nothing to gain by lashing back. Nothing to gain and everything to lose. And unfortunately, Dara reacted. Like I say, he's apologised. I said, look, no problem as long as you learn from it. And then I reiterated to everybody, you learn from Dara's mistake as well today, because ultimately that's, you know, when I was thinking even at 1-0 when they got the goal, I said, right, just still see it through to half time, because second half we can regroup and we can press, really press high, play in their half, high tempo, ball in play as much as possible. But that goes out the window when you go down to 10 men. And then I had a decision to make at half time, whether to do like what we did at Dartford and just go 4-4-1 and bank up and play for a draw, really, or I thought we could still win the game. I did. I thought leaving 2 up, with the pace and energy that those two have, we can stay narrow, stay as a back four with a 3 in front, and clear our lines, and those two would get on with it and then allow us to get up the pitch. And we still carried a threat that second half. We did. We got territory. We got lots of corners, I think, and we still carried a threat. And I said to them at half time, it would take 100% performance for us to win the game. And if we're 99, we won't win it. And not only won't we win it, we're in danger of losing it. And we were 99. We switched off for one cross. Danny and Ray's come too narrow. And good finish from there, lad. I actually thought Jacob saved it initially. He got a good hand to it, but tipped it in the top corner, unfortunately. And that was it. You know, the effort they gave was second to none. It wasn't a 60-70% performance in that second half. It was a 99%. It wasn't quite 100%, and it was 100% effort. Just said to him, 100% effort, 100% communication, 100% intensity, 100% concentration, and we were just at 99, and unfortunately that's meant we've lost the game.
Yeah, just bringing it back to the goal in the first half, it was a real major positive for us with the move, and then also I think it was a left-footer finish from Tom, but it's good to see that range in his game, isn't it? Obviously he usually scores with his right, but for a young player it's good to see that range, isn't it? And it was a good finish.
Yeah, brilliant finish. He's both-footed, Tom. He works both feet, you know, before and after training, and undoubtedly I reckon in his spare time as well at his finishing. And the finish in the warm-up actually was really good. You know, even the young lads, Freddie and Luke, their finishing was amazing in the warm-up. And yeah, it's good that Tom. We have to be clinical. You know, we have to try and be clinical if we're going to get the points that we want on the board. And Tom's in a really good vein of form, and I think he's confident in front of the goal, which is showing.
And talking about strikers as well, obviously Matt's come in on loan, and I don't think he could have gone closer in his two games which he started into scoring a goal without doing, but he's doing the right things, isn't he? And hopefully it's just a matter of time until the goals come for him.
He's been really good. You know, those two together, the last two games, have looked really lively. They seem to be complementing each other well as well. Obviously we don't have the outlet that we would do with Charlie or myself or perhaps Simeon, but they certainly work hard and feed off each other, and there's always a chance with us with those two because they're so sharp.
Yeah, and then sort of staying on positives really, it's a team that's come here who is chasing promotion. They're right up there. We've gone down to 10, which was always going to be difficult, but we've taken it to them, and that must be pleasing for you that we're still in the game right up until the end and could have taken a good point. Yeah,
it's pleasing, but it makes it all the more gutting really that we haven't taken anything, because I thought, you know, that first 25 minutes we were really, really good, and it's a moment of madness really from Dara that meant we couldn't then demonstrate that in the second half with the conditions in our favour. And they're third in the league now, and I think both matches that we've shown that we're not lesser than them at all. We're on par at least with them, and that is pleasing to know in my mind, and it's just unfortunate that circumstances and we haven't taken any points today.
Yeah, ahead of today's game in your programme notes you talk about the injuries in the squad and not wanting to use those as an excuse, because that's not what we're about, but can you just run us through the players that obviously weren't available today and how they're progressing at the minute?
Yeah, so Cameron tried to return to training Thursday and wasn't quite right. We'll probably try again next Thursday with him. Dave's long term, he's progressing okay, better than ahead of schedule really, but he's long term. It'll be April at best before we see him. Probably similar with Simeon. He's out of his leg brace now, but yeah, it'll be April at least. Callum Jones has spent the week at St George's Park up there. I think he might go back there in a month's time, but his season's over. Who else was there? Oh, Charlie Sheringham was ill. He's actually in hospital last weekend on a drip. So, although he's out now and back at work, he gets drained really quickly from the effect that's taken on him. So we hope that this week's going to be a fresh new week for him, where he builds his energy back up and available for next week. Tom Dickens was out today. He felt his groin at Dorking last Saturday, but again, I think he'll return to training with Cambridge this week and hopefully be available next week. I think that's it. Is that it?
I think so.
Yeah, I think that's it.
So then moving back to things on the pitch, then we got to Havant next week, who are another team that's sort of chasing playoff place and looking up the table. So it'll be another tricky game, but what are your thoughts out of that one?
We want to go there and win. You know, we want to go there and win. I think they're only just above us in the table, and I think if we beat them, we can still go above them. So that'll be the team talk, really. I think we've stayed 14th today, and we want to climb the table. You know, we want to climb the table, and they're in our way. And there's no better to beat the team that we can go above. You know, we did it at Hampton a few weeks ago here, and we'll go there and try and do the same. They're a big team in this league, Havant. Very, very big team, and they're underperforming. But they can only underperform for so long with the resources they've got. So hopefully we can capitalise on their bit of bad form this season and go there and get the victory.
Thanks, Simon.
Thank you.